He had the city in his hands before he had a driver's license. A guard from Coney Island who shared covers with the biggest names in basketball, stamped as the next one. And yet today, the headline isn't a playoff run. It's a prison yard in New Jersey. How does a prodigy with 8-figure earnings end up right back where it started? And what pushed him to say, on camera, that the fights in court and at home drained the life out of his bank account and forced him back to the projects? We're going to lay out the whole arc, no fluff, so you can decide if this is a cautionary tale or a setup for one last comeback. Coney Island knew his name before the league did. From Lincoln High to a first-round pick, the path felt pre-written. The kid who once said the ball would carry him out actually did it. Checks cleared, endorsements hit, and a decade in the league followed. The story looked safe. Draft night flash, big market buzz, and a career that ping-ponged through teams while the hype tried to keep up. On paper, he carved out 10 seasons and nearly $19 million in career earnings, more than enough to feel bulletproof. But fame doesn't cancel friction. Behind the box scores, pressure was stacking. And then came one Brooklyn night that didn't feel like a traffic stop. It felt like a plot twist. June 2017. A late-night stop in Brooklyn. Police say they smelled Mary Jane, saw a lit joint, and pulled a small armory out of the vehicle. Multiple loaded weapons, a semi-automatic weapon, shells, even a vest. The case moved fast. By August 2019, a Brooklyn judge handed down 3.5 years. The message was simple. In New York, illegal weapons mean mandatory time. That sentence became the weight around his career and his life. But while the courtroom closed in, trouble at home lit a new fuse.
I played the video recorded of y'all hearing that she lied on me. And she said, I lied, Sebastian. I told my lawyer. He knows I lied. I'm going to call him to see what I can do. And y'all still let her come up there and tell the jury she seen me with a gun. And they hand y'all a book just like this of her medical files. You know, people like this throw that out sometimes. Oh, this one's crazy. This one's crazy. No, that girl's crazy. Medical, and I'm sorry, I don't want to disrespect you because I know people got mental problems, but she has mental problems. They hand y'all a book like this of her medical.
Second Department at 45 Monroe Place, Brooklyn, New York, and request that counsel be assigned to me for the purpose of public.
Do the fault, so I took the $50,000 out of my pocket and did it that number. And now they doing the fault. If I didn't do that, now this summer they on the new fault. Right there, they closed the park. One of the parks we did because they about to do the whole thing over. Now the other park is there. We did a lot in society. Nah, Sylvia, don't put me in jail for nothing, lie. And I got them guns from dumb. Yeah, you walk into the place, got federal badges and all that. That's just from numb. I did everything I was supposed to do. Al proved why I'm in New York. My wife and them driving me crazy.
DNA will have to be taken. Sir,
they know I'm in New York. Where's that want me to go? My family here. Where's that want me to go? My family here, sir. I lived it and I had a ticket. I'm gone. I don't go to no club, never in New York. Told me I was there 15 minutes. They said I don't see them. Do what you gotta do.
Violation of the gun registry act shall be a misdemeanor punishable by a fine.
I love you, Mom. I'm so sorry. Y'all gonna watch it be live. Yeah, no reason to bring out that car and go over there. They profiled me nice and early. Al, he lied on me, Al. I know you can see that, Al. You keep saying that thing. You not see he lied. I'm being convicted on purpose. I'm being convicted on purpose. That's what the headline got to be. Sebastian Telfair convicted on purpose. Convicted on purpose, right? It showed up that, you know, we take that shit out of his pocket. Your Honor, they're going to show you the video. I know it's too late, but I swear he took it out of his pocket. Nobody was smoking right there. We have it. We really have it in our pocket. And when you see him, look, when you see a boy go in, he got his hand like this. We never figure out what was it. It's the roach of weed that he brought the case. Nobody was smoking, Your Honor. I've been a good person. Just stand up. I try to take care of my babies, man. I got my babies out here, man. Your Honor, I tried to do everything. What my community want to do? What? We been going to basketball classes for 15 years. We got 300, 400 kids out there right now, your brother. Don't let them do this to me. You the only one can help me.
The bail is exonerated.
You and each of you said through your foreperson that you found the defendant Sebastian Telfair. Sorry.
Yeah, let's do this.
Listen.
Is one of the highest duties any citizen can be called upon to perform in fulfillment of your service as members of the jury. You've reflected the best traditions of a free society. You're all now free to leave. For your information, the law zealously guards the secrecy of your deliberations. You don't need to answer, and this applies to you that you didn't deliberate, but it zealously guards the
Credible liar. Credible liar.
Damn shame. When money gets loud, divorce gets louder. In 2019, his estranged wife filed to end the marriage and asked for custody and support. In court filings, she claimed accounts were being drained, hundreds of thousands moving out. At one point, it was $500,000 in one account. The next day, it was gone, allegedly drained by Sebastian, arguing that without a prenup, those funds were community property. A judge noted the standard restraining orders attached to divorce papers, essentially saying the law already blocks that kind of asset shifting. Her claims made headlines, his responses played out in legal paperwork, and the public saw what it always sees: numbers with a human cost. Important, those were her allegations, not established facts. And while the house was on fire, federal heat showed up at the door. Almost a year later, in 2021, the Southern District of New York pulled a big lever, a health plan fraud indictment naming 18 former NBA players. The allegation: false claims, kickbacks, a paper trail of billings for procedures that, in some cases, defendants weren't even around for. He was in that group.
This is a victimless crime. Nobody got actually hurt.
This that NBA. This is basically me tampering with my own account type shit.
I'm still not understanding the healthcare shit. I'm just not understanding that.
So in the NBA, we got 10 different accounts. One of the accounts is a supplement account for healthcare. As you know, all the accounts was locked. My case in 2017 affected my finances because I was in the process of going through my divorce. They go through the finances and start doing the stuff with my divorce, and that's what got my accounts locked. You know, I let it really get dry where it's like, we can't go get nothing to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in the living room like, how am I come up with that money? And I get that call from T. Will, like, I could get access to your accounts. So I'll be reliving that moment all the time, like, damn, I need this money. Right? I'm in the middle of a trial. They're trying to lock me up for licensed firearms. I'm in the middle of divorce. I got my accounts locked. Whoop-de-doo. And I couldn't even use my money to get out of jail. So, swear to God, my mother had to bail me out.
He wasn't stealing nobody else's money. He was taking your money and giving you access to your own money.
So they said I robbed my old self. So the person I took the money from is me when I get older.
So why you just telling me you don't want to live that long? You can
I don't know, but it still doesn't never make no sense. And I told them when this money first came out the accounts, the NBA called us and they was like, oh, y'all can't do that. And we was like, this is our money. And the next year, the feds bust down my door.
Later, he'd receive time served and supervised release. That should have been the off-ramp. Do your community service. Check in. Keep it clean. But paperwork and probation don't care about former highlight reels. Miss a step, and the Fed clock starts ticking. Then something rare happened. A New York appeals court shook the table. In November 2023, New York's highest court looked at the 2019 gun case and said, essentially, the jury saw too much. Prior incidents were used to suggest a pattern, and that crossed the line. Verdict: reversed. New trial ordered. For anyone watching from the stands, it was whiplash. Years of narrative rewritten in one opinion. It didn't erase the federal case, and it didn't refill the bank accounts, but it proved something crucial. In court, details decide destinies. And right when the legal tide seemed to turn, life did what life does. By 2025, the money story turned personal. In the first episode of his new documentary, Finals Days of Freedom, he said it outright. Fighting the feds and fighting a divorce wrecked his finances. He had to move back to the mermaid houses where it all began. That's not a headline crafted by critics. That's him, on camera, spelling out the cost. Around the same time, he violated the terms of supervised release and reported to FCI Fort Dix to serve 6 months. Photos hit the internet. The former phenom walking the yard where another household name, Sean Diddy Combs, is also doing time. 2 very different careers, 1 fence line. And while the door closed behind him, the mic stayed open. There's buzz that he wants the book, the tour, the full reset. Reports say he even made a public plea for a pardon to Donald Trump right before this sentence began. Frustrated, calling the new time super unfair, blaming paperwork and missed service. That's the noise. The signal is this: a once-in-a-generation New York City talent who climbed to the league, burned through storms, and is now trying to narrate his own redemption in real time. Rumors suggest the doc is a brand pivot. Fans speculate about what a post-Fort Dix chapter looks like. We'll see if the next episode is a victory lap or another hard lesson. For now, it's a cliffhanger. Some rumors on the internet say Sebastian is battling mental health, some say drugs. An NBA analyst suggested Telfair should have attended college where he could have matured, but who are we to blame or judge? If you got to the end of this video, get in the comments and let me know what you think about Sebastian Telfair, having $20 million in your early 20s to riding bikes around Coney Island, living in the projects.
My brother put his hands on me about hanging out with Jay-Z. I'm a little kid though. Steph told that Jay-Z to Jay-Z's face right in front of Beyonce, get off of Bassy. That's why Hov stopped when I never called Hov. I only called, like I said earlier, I called Hov one time. Hov called me every other time. I never solicited to be around Hov. Call me every day. What you doing? My brother hating on him. Steph and Jay started arguing in the restaurant up in Manhattan. I'm not there. Soon Jay opened his mouth, Steph say, get off of Bassy. Get off of my cousin. Where the hell you talking about? Get off my cousin. So Jay can stop.